let's try this one. So this is from Claudia, and Claudia says, I'm planning to move to Hawaii and will likely work my current job until I find one locally. I'm planning to buy a condo. Now, should I start based on my current job or the job I may get in Hawaii? I'm assuming what she's kind of talking about is sort of on the financing part. And what are the banks like these days on your current? I guess with remote work, I'm going to kind of almost answer the question. With remote work, I suppose it doesn't matter. But what's your guys' sense of that, Dylan? What's your sense of how would you respond to kind of Claudia's question? Should I start now? Based on my current job.
Yeah, this is a very important thing to consider and take into account, and you need to talk to a mortgage broker about it, because if you're staying in the same industry, like you're leaving a nursing job in California and then taking a nursing job here, in most cases that's going to be okay because it's a continuation of the same industry and the same job. But if you're changing jobs or you're going to have a break in employment, that's going to screw up your ability to get a mortgage. So you want to have that discussion with the lender. The safest thing to do is buy first, close, and then leave your position and start working in Hawaii. That is the cleanest and simplest way to avoid any hiccups in the mortgage process.
Well, Dylan, Jessica agrees. She says, do not change your job until after you close, right, Jess? Exactly. Scott, what's your take on this?
I love this question. This is perfect, and I love talking about it. The first thing I tell people is, like, before we even start doing anything, going anywhere, trying to figure out, we go to deal with the financial side and we game plan. It's playing a game, right? You want to get money from the lender, you got to play their game and play by their rules. So, okay, how do we best set this up? If you're, like Dylan said, if you're staying in the same industry, okay, then that's probably pretty good. It may be okay, but if you change industries, then they're not going to count all the past income that you had, and you have to have 2 years of income showing for them to be able to give you the loan. So you got to play by the rules. So let's understand what the rules are so we can game plan properly for you right up front and not make any mistakes.
Yeah, no, that's
well said. Don't tell your employer you're leaving, right? The underwriters now will call your employer and verify your employment. If they say, yeah, they're employed, but they're leaving next month, that's not going to be helpful to you, right? So you really got to think this through and talk to somebody who knows what they're doing to advise you properly. Same thing with retirement, right? If you're planning to retire, wait till after you're closed to do your paperwork and retire, because you want to show that income is steady and it doesn't affect your ability to obtain a mortgage.
And here's the other thing too, and people don't realize this. And I actually did this with a client from Arizona. He was getting ready to retire and literally retired 5 days after we closed, but we had to play the game of, getting the loan prior. But I've had clients, and I'm dealing with this right now, significant high net worth, have lots of assets, very little income, and the loans are based on income. So I've had people with $20 million sitting in a checking account, and the lender's like, I won't give you a loan. And I said, justify that. I don't understand the rationale. And they say, well, they could go spend that money tomorrow. I said, yeah, they could also get fired if they have a job. That income could end. I don't understand the difference here. But yeah, so you have to we sometimes have to adjust tax returns and stuff because people have too many write-offs. They look like they don't bring any income in when they actually are. And so we have to strategize for some of that.
Yeah. So the moral of the story is plan this out in advance, plan it carefully, get your financial stuff kind of squared away, way out front. Natasha has jumped in here. Yeah. Natasha, who is who's coming into the cohort starting next week. Oh, by the way, I forgot to get the shout out to Jessica, who gave us this great concurs with the don't change your job until after you close. Jessica is an alumni of the Islander Ohana. Great to see you here, Jess. Glad you're here with us on the show today. Anyway, so Natasha says, if you work remote for a company outside of the state, the lenders need the employer to verify their agreement that you can do that. Otherwise, they won't approve the loan. Makes sense, right? If your boss says, "What do you mean they're working remotely?" you've got a problem.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get an owner-occupied loan if you're living in California. You're going to be commuting to Hawaii every day. That doesn't make sense. The lender doesn't like that.
That's good.
The loan program matters too, right? If you're employed in the mainland and you're doing a VA loan here for a house that you're going to own or occupy, you have to occupy that house within 60 days, and a lender's going to ask, how are you going to work there? And owner occupied in Hawaii, right? So those are the kind of things you really got to think through and have those discussions with a smart lender.
Yeah. And right there, there's a psychic link here going on, folks. Someone starts talking about it, and right before that, the comment was here. Kelly sent us before you talked about the VA loans, Dylan. Working with a VA loan is another hurdle. They always ask for more documentation. It's never ending sometimes. Yep. And this is why you gotta really plan all this stuff. I mean, it's not a thing you gotta. Tom, good to know. We had planned on retiring and then buying, but not now. Great intel, mahalo. Yeah, Tom, this is why this show is so much fun. There's great expertise here all over the place. I got some catch-up comments here. I want